Alright, welcome back to the Study Prep Guys channel. Everyone, the Study Prep Guy 2.0. Today we'll be looking at May June Social Studies 2015 for Social Studies. This is general proficiency. So let's take a look at some of the instructions and then we'll just look up to here. Let me just circle that off. So it says here the paper has three sections, so let's just break that break that down. For section A, it says questions 1, 2, and 3, individual, family, and society. This is what you usually bring out all the time. So that's substantiative. So we have section B, part I, question 4 and 5, development and uses of resources. That always comes to, and regional integration. So section C, question 9, 8, 9, and 10, communicative, consumers affairs, and tourism. So yes, so that's about it. That's we must. So it says you must answer total of 5 questions. So total of 5 questions. But for this video, we'll try to answer. Yeah, it's supposed to be easy, man. Um, so it says here, define the term marriage. A marriage is a legal union between a male and female recognized by the government. And functions so a marriage is a legal union between a male and female. It is recognized by the government and functions as a mean of procreation. So that's what generally marriage actually is. Two types of marriage we have: the legal marriage, um, then we have common law marriage. This is very basic things. Common law marriage. So we have common law marriage, we have legal marriage, which is the normal way or the normal marriage format. So we have legal marriage, which is very substantiative, that is our marriage. We have common law, whereby the persons are not really married, but they are living home. We call it living home in the Caribbean. And minority of you guys don't know what I mean. Give 2 reasons why some couples may choose common law unions over marriage. It frees the persons from the constraints of marriage. So one reason why common law marriage might be prevalent, it might just be for a basic reason. As a matter of fact, they might want to be in an open relationship in some cases, and they might not want to be married, because when you're married, cheating and these kind of things becomes a drastic issue. So it frees the persons from the constraints of from responsibilities. It could be for personal reasons. It could be for personal reason. An example of this: they are not sure yet if they are to be married. So it could be for personal reasons. They might just generally they might want to figure out the person. They might want to get acquainted to that person. That is another thing that they might think of. So it frees a person from the constraints of marriage, the responsibilities. Another reasons why persons might choose legal common law unions for marriage. It could be for legal reasons. Some of you might be asking, what does this guy mean by legal reasons? When I refer to like legal reasons, I'm just trying to say that Some persons don't get married for the sake of being married. So a man in general, because the justice system is biased, and usually when a man gets married, half of what he has goes to the female, and if he doesn't do that, you usually have to bring that in court. So, from the perspective of of a man, he might say that let's not get married, but let's live on, because I don't want to have this responsibility. I don't want this and this to happen. So he might not be married to that person. Thus, since he is not married to that person, he does not have to oblige to the certainly biased legal department branch. So it could be for personal reasons. They might not be sure. They might not be sure if they are to marry each other. They might want to know more about each other, and that may take a little bit of time. It frees a person from the constraints of marriage. They might not want to have the responsibilities of being married. They might want to be also in an open relationship, even if they are living together. They may also want to make sure that they could talk to other people, because in marriage you have a legally binding responsibility to not cheat and to not go with other females. So they might want to be within an open relationship. So we have that out of the way. So let's go down. Suggest giving full details, three actions which couples may take to prepare themselves for parenthood. Um, Parental counseling. Parental counseling. So parental counseling could be one, an action that you might want to talk to your parents. You may want to talk, like for example, if you are now going into parenthood, you're in a relationship and you're thinking about preparing for parenthood, you might want to consult with your parents, with your literal parents. You might want to be talk. What were your spending mechanisms when you were bringing us up, and how could we use that information now to actually contribute to our parenting? So we have parental counseling. That's one action, right? So parental counseling. And then we have justification. So let's give a little bit more elaboration. I'll try to make this not too long. Parental counseling. This could be the, I'll put this in parentheses, the couple asking their parents on how to be effective parents, essentially. So they might want to literally ask your parents, and usually when I say justification, might want to be, how is this effective? This is likely to be effective due to the fact that the then parents have a firm grasp on how to be effective parents, and thus so this is likely to be effective due to the fact that the then parents have a firm grasp on how to be effective parents, and thus will be the best source of advice. If and when you ask your literal parents, if you're preparing for parenthood, you ask parents how to be effective parents, they will likely give you the best answer, because they they were responsible for your bringing, and they will know how to act in that according the best possible manner. So all groups have rules. They may be written or written. State two reasons why group needs rules to maintain peace, peace and stability. So in order to maintain peace and stability, in order to um, set the lines of morality. So in order to set the lines of morality, or to set the line of morality, um, in order to promote effective development of portions, or to promote effectiveness. If you don't have really rules, and you don't have anything in place, it will be less effective. If you're within a group, you're playing soccer and there are no rules, it will not be effective. Persons will just be all about the place. They will be undisciplined. So we set rules, if it's both written or written, in order to promote the effectiveness of the group. Another thing could do is the development of persons. When persons follow rules, they become disciplined and they become more civil. So it's in order to set the line of morality of what is right and what is wrong. If there is no lining, if there is no silver lining of what is right or wrong, that will create a drastic amount of issues. So identify two styles that may be used by the leader to maintain a group. So we have the authoritative, and I'll just use the best, authoritative leadership. Leadership style. And then we have the democratic leadership style. So that's two styles right off the bat. Explain two ways in which the ongoing conflict may affect the way in which the group works. It will lead to instability. And disarray. So what's the question? This question sounds like it really got merits. So guys, I just want you to type in the comments below, because this question here look like it doesn't really have a merit. What am I trying to say exactly? So it says explain two ways in which the ongoing conflict may affect the ways in which a group may work. But I believe this is an error, because first of all, they did not give us what conflict is going on. So I cannot answer this question definitively, right? I could answer it, but this question, how it's structured, how it is written, is blatantly incorrect. So I cannot answer this question. So let's move on. So suggest given food the street leader of a group may use to reduce conflict between himself or herself and members. Effective communication. Strategy number one is effective communication. Effective communication, and you guys could elaborate why. So I'll just sting this right here. You guys could justify that right here. And you could type in the comments below. This is nothing difficult, guys. When I mean to justify it, how would you explain? Why is, and I'll allow you to answer this because I want you guys to be able to think. You come here to learn, and I want you to be able to think strategically. So how will effective communication reduce conflict between a leader, between himself or herself and members? It's very simple. When you could communicate effectively your wants and your needs, persons could understand where you are coming from. If you do not communicate your wants and your needs as a leader, that will lead to conflict, regardless of how good you are. That will lead to conflict. So we have that in mind. That will drastically lead to conflict. So that's justification. Strategy number two is the democratic approach. The democratic approach. So when you approach in a democratic matter, you listen to everyone's side of the argument. That will lead to less conflicts. A matter of fact, in most cases, within a democratic institution, there will be a drastic reduction to conflicts. In the case of like an authoritative type of leader, there usually is always conflict because you don't want to hear any one side of the story, you don't want to hear any one opinion, and they become very much opinionated, and that in itself will lead to conflict. Strategy number three is this is more of a um, this is more of like a practical way of actually reducing conflict. A raise of pay. This is very simple. Raise of pay. And this is very much self-explanatory. If somebody raise your pay, you won't want to argue with them. You just want to do your work.